Good morning and welcome to the live repair shop. We're streaming today live from the Bowers Festival of Repair in Redfern. Before we start, I'd just like to make an acknowledgement to country. We're standing here in Redfern on the unceded lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. Gadigal have cared for the beaches, waterways and woodlands for tens of thousands of years. They are its original storytellers and their songs and ceremonies are woven through its fabric. I acknowledge their deep and continuing connection to country and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. With me here this morning is Caro. Caro is the head of the Festival of Repair team and she's going to introduce our most repair.
Fantastic. Thanks, Nathan. And it's very, very exciting for the Bowers Second Festival of Repair that we are having a live stream repair shop. Lucky you if you're able to watch us live. And we have, as you can see in the background here, we've got a bike. So there's going to be someone coming to show us a bit of tips on bike repair. We've got some electrical repair happening with people who are bringing in items to repair. We're going to look at some furniture repair hacks. And first up, I'd really love to welcome Smith.
Yeah. Known as Retro Smith 1.
Yes, Retro Smith 1 on Instagram. Look her up. She has amazing stuff there. Everything Smith does looks fantastic and totally usable at home. Smith is going to, maybe you can explain, Smith, what you're going to be doing.
I got this 1960s footstool. I've already unscrewed it and I'm going to reupholster, make it look funky.
Oh, wow.
As you can see, the legs are super cool. And I've done this sort of thing before. So, and the reason why I do it is because it reminds me of Grandma. My grandmother had that stuff. But anyway, I'm from the animal conservation world and I've moved to the furniture conservation world. So, you know, so complete change of career. And I need to tell you guys that the people from the Bower have taught me so much in regard to these sort of things. You know, I would never have known. So, really good team here. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start. What I've done is I've already taken it off the base, the full screws, because it's in relatively good condition and I want to keep the integrity. What I'm going to do is I'm going to upholster straight over this. So, it'll make it really strong. It'll look funky. And then I'm going to put the backing on it so it will hide all of those nasty little mistakes that you've made, which is what I do. So what I've got here, to begin with, I've got this lovely vintage fabric from Indonesia. Very, very retro, very 60s, very Mad Men. Who watch Mad Men? I love that show. Anyway, that gave me a lot of inspiration as well. So I'm going to do that. Now, what you need with upholstery, simple. I do simple upholstery, by the way. I don't do, you know, lounges and things. The staple gun. I'm having a say with my staple gun. I swear this is one of the best tools I've ever had. A really good pair of scissors. These scissors are from the 1960s. Can't beat them. Made in Australia. Fantastic. Staples. So the staples you need should be 8 millimeters and only lightweight. Some people put these huge staples in things, and there's absolutely no reason to do so. You need this in case you make a mistake and you want to take the staples out, and this will ultimately drag the staple out. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this to size. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. We just lay it out. I tried to look for the least waste of fabric because my fabric is my life and I don't want to waste one single thing. And if you have little bits of old fabric left over, you can frame the little bits or you can make bunting out of these really old retro pieces of fabric that you've got left over. So waste not, want not. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lie it out like that. We're going to turn this upside down. Just going to measure. Okay, that fits there. That fits there. I just need to tell you one thing. It doesn't matter how messy it is underneath because you're going to be covering it with this and you won't even see one little mistake. So, so I've got that pretty much sorted. We just use this one here. Bit of a rough measure. As I said, it doesn't really matter because you're going to be covering any sins. Look at those beautiful scissors. My God. I wonder if they belong to my grandmother. Oh no, I can't smell grandma on them. So I'm just going to cut it. I'm not going to be too particular about it. But as you can see, I've got enough to either fold it over or just staple it straight in. So if you feel that on the bottom, you can feel that it's solid timber. So you can staple anywhere around there. And I don't think it's chipboard. I think it's timber. But I'm not going to take this up because I don't want to wreck it. Okay? So you're going to go just rough along here. So I know I've got a little piece of material here left. I could do a small stool with that, or I could cover a lampshade. So I don't waste 1 little centimetre of any fabric because they're so precious. And vintage fabrics are really hard to find. I only use vintage fabrics. So what we're going to do here, we're going to fold it over like that. Now, one of the rules, don't use a big staple gun because you will wreck your hand. And if you want to see what wrecked hands are, that's it. And it's not good. So you just need to be light. They do use pneumatic ones. I don't have one, but I'll show you the safest way how you won't hurt your wrist and your hands, right? So go like that. We push it here. That's it, right? So you're just going to do a couple of these things. I'll show you the basic principle of this. I know, you're going to say, gee, she makes it look easy. Well, I have been doing it for a while. Now what we're going to do here, you can clearly see what's happening here. We're going to stretch it. So what we're doing is 1, 1, 1, 1 to make it even. Got that? You got that? So we stretch it out as much as we can. You're going to be really surprised because it's good to use an upholstery fabric rather than a softer one because it's stronger. And it's also good to, it's going to be a footstool, use a darker colour so that you don't get it dirty. Who puts their dirty feet on the lounge? Who does? You do? So you have a dark colour so that you won't tarnish the fabric. So you can see already it's looking pretty okay. So now we're going to do the other side. We're going to pull it like that. Now even if you have a seat or a footstool that has a slight curve to it, you can stretch the fabric to fit with that curve. So don't ever think that just because it's not flat, it's not going to work, because it is going to work. It can't be like that, of course. But if it's got a slight curve, you can stretch it over. If you have good fabric, right? So if you had a larger gun, I can use it. I've tried the larger gun. It doesn't work for me because my hands are too small and it's far too hard to push the staple thing down, okay? So just remember, a small one. This is a Trojan, and I swear, I wish I had a clicker for every time I use this, and it still works like a charm. So don't buy cheap, nasty tools. So what we're doing, this is the last part, but we're stretching it right out here, right? Stretch it really hard on that last part. And you'll see what I mean. Oh, haha. So we're going to load the gun. Pull her out. Got the 8mm lightweight staples. We just slot them in. How many staples have been through this gun? Unbelievable. And just slide this back in like that. Pretty simple. And you'll be surprised how many people don't know about the mechanism of this. It's such a simple thing, but they've never done it. So, you know, that's what we're here for, to teach people how to do things easily and safely. See that? How cool is that? Completely changes it. Now what we're going to do, this is a little bit tricky, but I've worked out a way to do it. When it's tricky like this and it's sort of harder to, we're going to have to fold it in like a corner over here, right? As I said, you will not see the underneath of this when I cover it with the calico, because that's exactly what they've done here. They cover it with calico just to smarten it up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to fold these. So I'm going to trim this off a little bit to make it smaller. I get a bit rough, but I know how to do it. I will teach you, if you come to the upholstery courses, I will teach you how to do this really simply. And you'll be surprised, I've got so many things that I've upholstered. I'm going to cut this in a little bit more, make it easier for me. So I'm going to pull this a little bit, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to pull that a little bit in there, and then I'm going to hit that, hit that, hit that. So what I want to do now, I don't know if you can see this either, I'm going to make a little tuck here, and you have to pull it quite hard, right? So I've got it up there like that, and we're just going to do a couple of these to hold it together, and then I'm going to do that. Oi, look at that. Easy, cool. So what you're going to do now, which is another thing I learned recently, when you tuck the two ends down, say you've got a tiny little tuck here, you've got to make sure that the same tuck is on that side, not on that side, just to sort of make it even. So you just do it around like that. So I'm going to make sure that I tuck it this way, like that's that way. Got it? So we're going to cut this off again. Cut this back. Put it in there. Exactly the same process. Pull it with your finger. So the finger, I can't use leather because I can't stretch it because of my hands. And I know there's a machine thing, a little tool, but I've tried to do it and it just doesn't work for me. So I do the best I can with what little that I have. So Oh, dear, so much. This can be a tiny bit tricky, but as I said, I will teach you how to do it easily. You just need a bit of practice. Just cut little bits. Don't cut too much because you know how it is. Better too little than too much. Because, you know, so getting the tuck. So I'll just cut this up a little bit more. As I said, the tuck can be a tiny bit more difficult. So we're aiming to do this that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up really tight. And I'm going to turn it like that. And hopefully I'll get a relatively piece. And I have and once this is on, it ain't going to come off. So you can see I've done the two sides that way. So I'm just going to do exactly the same with this side as well. Cut off. So we've got, so the tuck has got to be that way to make it even, right? Right. So exactly the same process again. And of course, the more you do it, the easier it's going to be for you. You know, it's always double check. Do this up here again. So I'm going to pull this in. Double check. So we call up maybe a little bit more here. Bring you right up. One more to go. Looking pretty cool. And then I'll show you how to do the underneath to tidy it up. Yes. You can talk to me while I'm doing it. I won't hear you and I won't be able to answer you, but you can talk to me. I'll listen to anyone, anywhere, anytime. Almost done. So pull this up as far as we can. Check again. Where we twist it and secure it. Too cool for school. What do you reckon? Looks pretty good. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you how to tidy it up. Do I have a little bit of time for that? 5 minutes. This is dead easy. Turn her upside down. cut around the edge just like that, right around. See if you can make it quite, oh, no, it doesn't really matter if it's not even, because you're going to be tidying it up. You're going to do the Smith conceal trick. And Annette Brodie, who also does upholstery, taught me a lot about this, and she's about this. Taught me a lot about upholstery, which is, she's good. So if you see any courses with Annette coming up anywhere, I strongly advise you to go and join her, because she's good. So done that. Got it. Now what we're going to do, very, very briefly, there are 4 screws. Every screw on every item is in a different place. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got to find them on here to make sure they fit perfectly. Got it? So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to look here. There's the hole. There's the hole. I've got 2 holes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, because you won't be able to see it, you're going to get the screw. You're just going to put the screw in there as you go. Okay. There's one. That's where it goes. The second one, because you will be so cranky, you will never find the screw hole and you'll start swearing. Do you want to tell you how to swear? No, you don't. Okay, we have another here. I can see what's happened here. They've got 2 screws. So they've obviously touched this before me. Someone has. Okay. I love this tool as well. I think it's an old leather tool. It's so good. The steel is so strong. So we've got the screw holes, the guides, so we can pop it straight back onto there really easily. So this is the hide factor, the Smith hide factor. You just turn it up like that. This is really fast. I'm not using my normal practice because I'm in a bit of a hurry. And as I said before, always do one side to another first, okay? Don't try and do that and that. Do the opposite sides. How am I going for time? Almost finished. Stretch her out. The other side now. It's going to be so tidy. You're going to be so impressed. Just like my house. Stop being bored. It's happening. Pull back. Ooh. More staples. Staples are really cheap. You can get them at the $2 shop for 1,000 pieces for about $3. Most of them.
Have to look in grey.
The last stretch. Really tidy it up. Finita la musica, passata la festa. All done. Then time to put it on top. When I put the screws on, that's it. So you've got a brand new footstool.
Wow.
So there you go.
And all done in less than half an hour. Amazing.
That's
incredible. Smith, have you got any tips for people? Just brief tips for embarking on reupholstering yourself at home?
Only simple. Don't do anything complicated because you'll walk away crying.
Right.
Just simple. Just make it simple. Do something simple like this, and then you can work your way.
Yeah.
Like doing the back of chairs and stuff's quite difficult because you've got to show the front and the back of them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the seat, as I said, you can hide all sins. So it's
all
it's
right. There you go. That's a great tip. Reupholster a seat. And if someone's got a tear and they need to reupholster it, like take the whole thing off and
It depends. Yeah, it depends what the fabric is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was perfect because it was in good nick. But I love to, if you look at a lot of old furniture and you pull it apart, you'll find many layers. You will find many layers. They've done it over the years. It's 1960s. Like, how old is that?
Yeah.
And it still lives, right?
Yeah. So fantastic.
Yeah.
So people can find. Actually, Smith was talking about courses the Bower runs, upholstery courses, basic upholstery.
Yep.
And so just go on our website, bower.org.au, and look for the workshops section, and you'll find a link to any of the workshops that we've got coming up. We've got one coming up in September.
I'm not sure about that. I haven't got my schedule yet.
But I know there's definitely one in September.
I'm here. And I do lampshades as well. I cover lampshades, and I also do basic furniture restoration, but I only deal with retro, mid-century and industrial. The Art Deco stuff and all that, I don't understand it. But the retro stuff, because of Grandma, I understand it. So it's really good, yeah.
I definitely recommend check out Retro Smith 1, and you'll be amazed at the range of beautiful things that Smith has brought back to life and made look better than they were originally.
Yep. And a lot of them are at the market at the moment.
Yes, come on down to 107 Redfern Street.
Yep.
And you can actually take home your own Smith.
Yep.
Retro Smithed furniture.
That's it. That's it.
We'll post some pictures so you can have a look on the. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Bower and at The Bower, I think it is. At The Bower. Anyway, we have
the Reuse and Repair Centre.
Oh, yes.
If you do that, you'll get the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Smith.
Hey, you'll
take your stool with you?
Yes, I do. I just want to get the other side.
How about if I help you? And I want to welcome one of our incredible bikeologists. We call them bikeologists at the Bower. Joe. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Yes, it's really wonderful. I don't know if this is the first time that there's been a bike in this studio space here at 107. Not one as beautiful as... No, it's really coming out very nice. So can you tell us a bit about this bike, Joe? I think if you stand over there and I'll stand over here, tell us about this bike and what it is that you're going to be helping us understand.
Well, this is a bike from the 70s that has been beautifully kind of renovated by our bikes. Notice the Bower pipe.
Wonderful new t-shirt.
Really beautiful
new
t-shirt.
So it has the old rally frame. It's kept the frame completely as it was, and put some slightly wider ties in because they were incredibly like of the time, like they liked them really skinny. And in fact, to do that was to even kind of adjust the frame here. So Ben is a frame builder, and he knows all about that. And there are workshops on frame building as well. If you go onto our website, they'll be coming up. But this is, what can I say? There are two different types of brakes. I'll be looking at the brakes today, and the kind of things that you can do, the kind of things that go wrong, and the simple things that you can do to fix them. These have kind of the standard brake pads. There are other types of brakes, which are the disc brakes, which are a bit more kind of popular for more modern day bikes. But these are the old pad brakes, which lots of bikes still have, and they're beautiful. One of the interesting things about these is that there's only one cog at the front for this is the it's the gears. So this drives the gears. Often you will have, like 2 or 3 here, but this has just got one. And then at the back, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a 7-gear bike. If you had 2 at the front, it would be a 14-gear bike. What else am I going to say? It's got very pretty mud guards. But generally, like in terms of a bike, you would, if you have your own bike and you want to do, keep it in kind of shape and you're using it a lot, then doing a little check like every 2 or 3 weeks on your bike is good. Making sure that the tires are pumped up. Check on the side of the tire, like what the pressure should be. Get yourself a really good pump, like a hand pump is really good, and do that every 2 or 3 weeks, and it keeps your bike in good condition, as does clean chain and oil in your chain. Keeps all of this mechanism in good condition. Those are the 2 main things. Also there's workshops that we are running around like basic maintenance and the kind of like how to take a wheel off, how to fix a tire puncture, how to like clean your chain, basically, like look after your bike on a regular basis. So the way that the gears work, is through for these levers here. So you would go, in fact, because there's just one, it's just one lever. You've moved the lever. So this is one of the things that needs to be adjusted so it doesn't go completely over the wrong way. If you move the lever up, it kind of down. This one goes down. You move it down, and it moves it up the gears. Just going to see that. And then it down again. It's a beautiful, like, old kind of gear system. It's all very, I think with a lot of old things, they're really exposed. Lots of things are really exposed, and you can kind of see what's going on, and you can really see on here what's going on. There's a wire that that this lever makes kind of tighter or looser, and that feeds into here, which then moves the mechanism over here. Like, it's beautiful. A lot of the ones now are all kind of hidden in here, and it's the same principle, but you would probably, if you don't know how to do it, you would probably need to be shown like how to get in there and how it works. So in terms of the brakes, one of the common themes about about the braking system. Like, you will know if your bike isn't really running very well. You have to kind of push it really hard just to get going, and it's kind of stopping before you want it to stop. It's often brake pads are just not level, lined up. I don't know if you can see in there. Like, this one is a beautiful example when we did of the brake pad, like, touching the wheel, the tire instead. And if it does that, like, if you can see, it's just not going to go. And this is kind of an extreme example, really, of that. And so what you do, and if you can see the brake pad there, that brake pad should be aligned with the cylinder ring, and that friction when you pull on the brake is what stops the wheel going round. So a real simple way of adjusting that based on tools and this. And then you can play around with just the part. And then you line it up to where you want it to go, which is on the rim. Tighten it. And kind of hold on to the pad as well, because each time you tighten it, it wants to kind of follow you and go around. So tighten it a little bit. Make it that way. So follow me around. Right. And then that's going around really smoothly. Need to pull from the lip. It stops really nicely too. That's just one of the common things that happen. If you have an old bike, then this might be really, really slippery. Like, you really want the friction to happen. So you would, I don't know, put some wire wool and clean those things. I'm not going to go into detail because these are just kind of overall things that you can do, but seeing the mechanism of this as well, and another example of something which is completely kind of visible, like you pull on here, it pulls this up, this moves, and it brings the pads close together. And there are various places along the way that you can tighten and shorten these. Sometimes the wire gets, things get loose, and so it changes like where the pads are. And there are various places down the way where you can loosen or tighten and unfold these. Another thing that some people may not know as well is, before you want to get into these, you can adjust through here, which you can see. But there's always this on these kind of brake levers, where you can, if you screw them one way, it will tighten, and if you loosen, like screw the other way, it will loosen. And you can actually visibly see these moving, and that happens. And what you really need to do is have them equal. So this one is being caught up in this frame, so it's really hard to kind of see, but it's not going to pull. But you can see, I don't know if you can see that is a good distance for your hand to pull to make it work. And if you have them the same on either side, then that's good. Okay. That's a really very kind of quick sort of look at a bike. As I say, we've got workshops, looking at the run thing, I know we've got workshops. So we can either, people who know about bikes can come down and just use the tools in the workshop. This is in Summerhill. But we are going to be running some workshops for
So they're not up online yet, but what is online, and this is really wonderful, the Bowers bike
shop, so where we do our bike repairs, is open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day,
10.
Monday, Friday, 10.
It's 12 till 4.
12 till 4, okay.
There's often people there earlier, but really 12 till 4
12
is
till 4 is
Monday to Saturday.
when you can book. Just go to the Bowers website, bower.org.au, and go to the repairs page, and you can see that you can book a bike repair, and you just click on there, and it'll take you to when the next available booking is. You can schedule ahead. You can look at coming in for a tune-up, and coming in, you can bring your bike in for a 15-minute session, and you just want to be shown something that's bothering you or how to do something, and Joe or any of our bikeologists would be happy to show you what they
absolutely.
know.
So you book yourself in for a 15-minute kind of thing. You might be able to just get your bike fixed in that 15 minutes, but if you can't, then we'll tell you, we'll give you a bit of a quote as to what how much that's going to be, or if it's worth fixing. If you have any bikes that you want to donate because you're not using them anymore, we absolutely welcome those. And then we fix them up and we sell them at community prices. They're very, very affordable, and the idea is to get people riding.
Yes.
So we really want people to ride. We've got lots of different varieties of bikes at all times. There's a quick flow. People are in quite a lot buying bikes. We're fixing them as fast as we can.
Really impressive. It's an amazing bike
great.
shop that
It's
we've got
fabulous.
now. It's
Yeah.
buzzing. And come on down if you love
To
bikes.
Summer Hill, definitely. And then come on today. We've got a few.
Yes, we're all day today and tomorrow here at 107 Redfern Street, Redfern. We've got bike Jo and her team are there, and you can book in the same. You go to on the front page, you'll see a link to the festival, and you click on that, and that will take you to the program, and you'll be able to book in for a bike repair session at the festival, or just bring your bike on down and we can fit you in. And we're here at 107 Redfern Street, Redfern, all day today and all day tomorrow, Sunday. Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Jo. You're welcome. Thank you very much. We're going to leave the bike here, but you can take the tools. And we might go to an interlude now for anybody who's watching while we set up our next session, which is going to be, we're switching to electronic repairs now. And I'd like to welcome our electronic repairer to set up here and switch to something that we've got ready for you to watch.
The most important thing about this particular course is it's a practical learning experience. So there is a lot of theory and a lot of how-to, but when it comes to the 6 days of the course, the main thing we want to do is have people pick up the tools and do the work. So it's physical, and it's learning through doing.
It's a good combination of learning the craft, learning the tools, as well learning how to think about approaching problem solving, which is really what I was missing. It's very intimidating when you start a project. You don't know where to start. You don't know if you're facing a problem, how to think about the problem. And I think that hands-on experience was extremely useful.
I found it very good when I heard about it that you're using recycled materials because, as I'm very conscious about the environment and also the climate, I find it great that you're using recycled material.
I need to collect all of the materials secondhand, try to get them for free as well. So we have people who know about our course and they are willing to donate. They stay in touch with me. Otherwise, I'll be on Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, sourcing free materials. If I know there's a demolition happening, I'll be at the site asking them if I can pick up some timber. So a lot of old framing, preferably a pine or like Oregon. They also have to collect secondhand windows and doors. There's just so many people renovating in Sydney that I always just seem to find just what we need. Cladding is fairly easy. A lot of it is corrugated roofing. So we use that for the roof as well as some of the side cladding. We do try to incorporate a bit of timber cladding as well, which you mightn't think, but it actually adds a bit of weight, and it just looks a bit nicer.
The best thing about the course that I find is that underneath all the learning, the nuts and the bolts and the screws and the tiny house stuff it's empowering to individuals. So at the end of it, they come out maybe they can't remember everything that's been said during the course, but they have a sense of, I can do it. So it's that empowering people to go from like, oh, that's too big, to like, I can do it.
For me, just getting straight into tool inductions, getting straight on the power tools, I think that just gave everyone a real sense of confidence to just like get stuck in.
When I first thought about it, it's going to be so far beyond my reach. But I think the guys have actually brought it down to various piecemeal bits that we can actually work through and understand how to achieve, how to get through the process. And it's not daunting.
So,
I think that the teamwork is great here as well, because we've been 12 people thrown together who didn't know each other, but working in different teams has been really good, and working with different people as well, because there's always different ways of doing things that sometimes you don't think of yourself.
It's just amazing how, a group of strangers comes together so quickly. And I think even from day 2, I think we were sort of, just kind of working it out, mucking in, forming little crews and moving around in order to get the job done. So it's been just an amazing sense of collaboration, great instruction, just very empowering.
What I find the best is the whole group is building a house together. So, of course, it comes with a little bit of challenges because we don't know each other. But for me personally, I find it super great to find solutions together and to try things out together and seeing, okay, it's not only one way to do, to fix something or to attach something. There are more ways to do it and learn from each other. So I found it very good.
It felt very daunting, and I think it's just like an empowering thing to see, like, okay, we started with the trailer and we're actually going to get to something that looks like a house by the end of the week.
Oh, it's fantastic. In 4 days, I've gone from, I don't think that's going to chop my finger off, I don't think I can use that, to, yeah, I'll chop that wood, no problem. It's great. It's really fun.
And we're back. And if you're interested in our amazing How to Build a Tiny House in 6 Days course, we have the next one coming up in October, and you can book for that. You can watch that video again on our website, bower.org.au, Tiny House Course. And I'm here now. We've welcomed Cam, who's our wonderful all-round handyman at the Bower. He supports our electrical repair shop as well as our furniture repair shop. And with us this morning, we're so pleased to have Kim, who has brought in her lamp. It's beautiful. And she's going to explain to Cam exactly why she's brought her lamp in, and I'll leave you to it.
Of course. Anyway, nice to meet you, Kim.
Hi, Kim. So I brought this lamp base in because I bought it at auction and I haven't plugged it in. I just feel more comfortable if the cord and the plug were new.
Yes.
Because I don't know how long this one's been on there or whether it's, even safe.
Yeah. So what we would actually do at the Bower is basically by law, we have to, if we're going to sell anything or if they're just doing repairs, what we have to do is tag and test any piece of electrical equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So what we would do is, I don't have the tag and test machine here right now.
Yeah.
But we will do that at a later date.
Yeah.
But with lamps, this is a very typical repair that we'll do at our repair workshop. So basically with a lamp, there's not a lot that can go in. You've got your plug, your cable, and a switch.
Yeah.
And of course the light bulb, which is the most common problem.
Yeah.
So what we'll do with this is we'll just show the viewers basically the type of work that we can do in a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is a very common problem. Quite often the switches will go, the plug will fail.
Yeah.
Rarely does the cable itself fail.
Yeah.
So we'll test this normally we test for continuity to find out exactly where the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
But since you're basically just looking for a new cord anyway, for peace of mind,
that's right.
so what we'll do for the viewers today is we'll just change this cord out, which is quite a process, and that will just let people see the sort of work that we actually do.
Okay.
So we'll start at the top. We'll unscrew to get access to the actual cabling. Now we need a little bit extra loosen. That's pulled through easily enough.
Yeah.
Just to work with. So it's quite straightforward with a lamp that is single phase, because we only have the 2 connectors here. Polarity is normally would be an issue normally. For a lamp, it doesn't really matter because the base, the actual light bulb works. So what we'll do is we're just going to disconnect this end. I don't know if the camera can see this, but we're just disconnecting the bulb holder and switch. Now, I won't go into too much detail as in how the cables go around, because this isn't a job that people can do.
No.
You actually have to be certified.
I'm not going to do it.
No, I wouldn't recommend anyone else to do it. Yeah, you do actually have to be certified to do it.
Sure.
So we'll just unclip this side.
Does it look like that's the original cord?
It may well be, because this is an older style.
Yeah,
cord,
it does look like that.
and we would recommend updating it.
Yes.
The plug I'm actually going to put on this today is, now, this is off another appliance that's already been tested for continuity, just to make sure there's no breaks in the cable.
Yeah.
Right. And it's actually, I think it's 2007, they changed the plugs. So now they're molded and it has this flex on it. So we're going to use this and just replace it. It's 2-core. As I say, we try to reuse anything we can, but this has been tested prior. So we'll pull the old cable through, which is quite straightforward. Being careful with your beautiful lamp. Like so. Okay, so we can dispose of this. Now, it's just as simple. You have to get things in the right order, because it's very easy to put nuts and bolts and screws on the wrong side of holes when you feed it. So we're going to feed through first. This is just a walking screw that tightens into the bar itself, which feeds through the bottom. I say there's not a lot to lamps. Now, having said that, just trying to line this up again.
Yes.
And it doesn't.
There we are.
Okay. So,
With a hole there.
yeah, if you can put that in, that'd be good. I'll just feed this through. Now, quite often the problems that we have is we'll have an inline switch as well, which is actually one of the most common problems we have. So the inline switch where you just click it. This one, you already have a switch. So we don't need that. But it is one of the very common problems that you have. This one's fine. So we're going to feed this all the way through.
Is it alive?
It's it's quite thin cable on this, so we want to come through. Give ourselves enough. I'm just going to put this back on. What I just told you 2 minutes ago not to do. So I'm going to feed this through first in the right order, and then we'll feed the cable through. I've made that mistake. I've only made that mistake every time you do it. So, we'll give ourselves a little bit excess to work with. And we can pull this back up later. Perfect. Okay.
We're good.
So, we can stand up now. Now, all we're looking at is just splicing to reattach this socket. Now, I'm going to do it on this beautiful tablecloth because it doesn't belong to me. Hopefully I won't tear it. I'm just going to split the cable originally And then you use like special purpose wire strippers.
Right. This isn't something you do at home.
It's quite a straightforward fix, but it's actually, I highly recommended you don't do it.
It doesn't look quite straightforward to me.
Well, in regards to most of the repairs that come in, this is a very clean repair.
Okay.
And as I say, there's not a lot that can go wrong with it.
Yeah. Right.
Which is good because we can keep the stock materials
Yes.
that are pretty much the only thing that changes on a lamp really is the base, and you can make a base out of anything.
Yeah.
So it is good for like a DIY type stuff. People can make their own lamps, but they can make their own lamps and bring it to us, and then we can actually wire it up for them and certify it.
Oh, that's good.
So I mean, you can make one out if that's your thing, and we can just like run cables through it.
That's good.
So we'll get these fancy strippers. It's just going to clear both wires.
Close off.
And again, we need to make sure that we feed through anything that's going to...
Yeah. Turn it on and off.
Yeah, and in this case, I think we're pretty much gone through everything. Yeah. We can go straight onto this connection here.
Okay.
Now, I won't go too much detail as in how this wraps around and how it's secured, because I should be doing this at home.
I don't need to know.
No. Again, this is just an example of the basic repairs that we'll do it at the workshop.
Okay.
So I shall just clamp this one down. Now, unfortunately, I didn't think to bring a light bulb.
Oh.
So,
never mind.
But it's you just have to see my work for it. It's going to work.
Okay.
And again, I'm not going to actually tag and test it right here. It's just, we have a special machine for that. It just tests the wires, confirming there's no breaks in the wires or any short circuiting there. And the testing is good for between 1 and 2 years, depending on the appliance, whether it's commercial or... So I'm going to hook this round for security. So if the flex cord is pulled accidentally, if somebody trips on it, whatever, it's not going to pull out of the connector at the top.
No. Okay.
And that's the purpose of these swell hooks here.
Good.
Again, I'm telling you this, just don't do it. So, we are in here.
Looking good.
It's just making sure that we have a good contact. Sometimes it's worth just stripping the wire back a bit further. Just makes it easier to work with, which I haven't done on this occasion.
Oh.
We don't want to make it look too easy for people.
No.
Because we want them to come up and...
Of course.
And take money from them if we can, but so each one happy with that. And just type. So basically, that's the circuit complete.
Don't try this at home.
Never try this at home or anyone else's home. But so now, just a case of screwing everything back together.
Yeah.
So in theory, you should be ready to go. Yep. So I'm going to drop this back down on here. Find the thread. Okay, just testing this is good. Testing that your switch is all good.
Yeah.
Now, to tighten this up, I'll put the shroud on for the bulb.
Yeah.
Even though I forgot to bring a sample bulb. You'd be surprised how many people would bring a lamp in and the bulb isn't working. I mean, it sounds...
And that's the problem.
Well, the thing is, you buy a new bulb and the assumption is it's going to work. But you'd be surprised how often you can buy something and you assume because you that it works, and it's. I wouldn't say it happens a lot, but it definitely happens.
Oh.
So all we're going to do to secure it now is swivel the bottom here.
Yeah.
I'm showing yourself. Don't think the camera can see this.
Shall I hold it?
If you look at the bottom end,
Yeah.
I'll let them see.
Sure.
So pretty much all lamps just have a small nut and bolt on the bottom that is awkward to get to, which is actually going to hold the whole frame together, basically the structure. So this is the tricky bit, because depending on the lamp and how fat your fingers are, and I do have sausage fingers, so, and this is quite often where the swearing begins.
Oh.
So unless there's a customer though, if there's no customer, it's you learn some Scottish swear words that most people haven't heard before. So if I can pick this thread up. Yep, that's what's on. Okay. So just pointing those pliers to get into the depth. And of course it's dropped off again. So there you are. It's not as simple as I said it was.
Fiddly.
It's, more fiddly.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I can't really show the camera because my fingers are so fat. I'm going to have to try and stand it up. Sorry. Inside. It'll maybe stay level this way.
Hold it.
It should be fine because I'm going to spin the lamp and try and screw the lamp onto the nut instead.
Okay.
Such a fine thread. I'm kind of glad this is happening because it does let people see how frustrating it can be.
I don't swear.
You just can't hear me. I'm doing it under my breath.
Oh, right.
I'm just giving one particular look actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that should be too offensive to anyone but the lamp.
Yeah.
Here's your problem.
Yes. Are the threads gone? Or?
It's the thread there. It's just because it's in a narrow section,
Oh.
and it's picking up, and that's tightened up at that. That can go tighter, but it's picked up the thread.
Oh, good.
So for the purposes of the video and for
Yeah.
people at home to understand, I'm going to spend 10 minutes on this off camera.
Yes.
But basically, that's pretty much all there is to replacing the cord.
That's great.
This needs a bit of adjustment to tighten it up.
Yeah.
I'll do it off camera.
Yeah.
Now, what we'll also do is we'll put it on our tag and testing machine, confirm everything works, put a light bulb in here, double check your switch,
You do?
and that's pretty much all there is to it.
That's great.
But as I say, just don't do it at home.
No.
So that's a very typical example of the sorts of issues that we'll be doing. You're very welcome.
Thank you, Kim, for bringing your lamp in, and
Pleasure.
it's such a beautiful photogenic lamp too.
Thank you.
And we've got someone else coming up now.
Yes,
We have
on
Lee.
the stage.
No, you stay on the stage.
Oh, I'm still.
You're the
okay,
most
that's good.
important person.
Oh, I'm fixing it. Okay, that's.
Yeah, you're fixing-
I hope
well,
I have-
hopefully
I hope I have the
we'll
right
see.
tools with me. Then
We'll see what we can do with this next one. Thank you very much, Kim, and
Thank you.
we'll help you out with making sure that's
Okay.
finalised a bit later.
Okay.
So we've got Lee here. Hi, Lee.
Please be.
Cam. And Lee has brought his kettle, but it's in a bit of a sorry state.
Oh,
And he'll
okay.
explain to you what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so the kettle was working, and then it made a loud pop when it was turned on, and it tripped the circuit breaker in the house. And so took it apart to try to see what's going on. Maybe it was a fuse or something like that.
Yep.
Soon realized that this is way too complex for me to play with because it could be pretty dangerous.
So, what we would do with this is, I don't take the multimeter with me, but the issue that we'll have with kettles is the element itself is the main issue. That's what it's going to go. Unless there is a burned out cable, it would be quite obvious.
I did see that there's a little spark here on the interface. You can kind of take this out. It's just right there between.
Yeah. So what's happened is, so there's been a hot spot on here, and that's a good tell. When we see a burn anywhere, that's obviously indicates that's where the problem is. So when you get a hot spot, that's usually a short circuit. Maybe a wire's come loose, an element could have failed. In this case, it looks like the element itself is fine. So, here we are. So, you can actually see, if you see here, there's a paste. So you see this?
You can cut.
Okay. So the paste here, this is actually to dissipate the heat. So it's a point where it is going to generate heat if there's like a small capacitor here, or whatever it may be, a resistor. So what's actually happened is that it could be the resistor itself has actually let me just have an inspection of this. Yes, there's nothing obvious there.
So I looked up that little device. It actually is a thing that changes shape when it gets to a certain temperature.
Yeah, so like it's a thermostat. So the thermostat will expand or contract under, and once it'll either expand to a point where it will disconnect the circuit and therefore switch it off, and vice versa on the other side. So
I'm just going to step in here,
sure,
so people can see. We want you to turn this around so it faces the camera.
Of course, yeah. Oh, we'll have a camera. This is on TV.
It's right.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
consider.
Yeah, I'll just swing right this way. So with this, I would suggest, because we'll have the hot spot right here, which is right next to the thermostat, and this paste is used to dissipate the heat. There's too much heat gone through here. So without putting my ultrasonic testing equipment on this, I would say that it's pretty much the thermostat itself is going to go. When you first switch it on, it just popped straight away, or did it?
Turned it on, kind of let it heated up, and then waited 5 minutes to kind of reheat it as a second time.
Okay, so if it's done that and then it's cooled down and then it did again, again, that suggests that the thermostat itself is faulty.
Okay.
Because it's basically mechanical. It will expand and contract to open or close the circuit. So what we would suggest on this, I would double check this with a multimeter, confirm the resistance that's going through it. We'll check on the chart so we know exactly what's supposed to. But most likely what we'll have to do with this is we'll get the part number, and we'd have to order up another small thermostat here. It's not something that's particularly expensive, but again, it's just not something that we would recommend doing. Anything that's 240 volts is dangerous. Yeah. I'll make your hair stand on end. Apparently, I wouldn't know, but so I've been told. So what I would recommend we do is we take the kettle, if you're happy for us to go ahead, and we'll charge a small fee to replace it. Now, normally what we do is we ask the customer to supply the part once we advise you what the part is, just to make our life easier. We just try to keep our costs down for everyone. If you're happy to put the time into it, I mean, these things are quite easily to source on like Amazon, wherever it may be. But we can tell you what the component is. If you can source that and you bring it to us, we can then swap that out for you.
Sounds good.
And you basically just pay for the part. Mm-hmm. If we can do all this within half an hour, which I suspect we can do, there isn't any extra charge for it. We try to do it's either an assessment within the half hour or it's a repair. In this case, because you've already dismantled it, saved us a little bit of time. But yeah, we'll order the part, or preferably you order the part, let us know when you have it. You can bring it in, we'll swap it out, test it, I would recommend that we also tag and test the cord. So any appliance that we work on, we have to ensure that it's a safe product. We don't tag and test the kettle, we actually tag and test the cord. Because again, it's to make sure that there's no short circuits in the cord. So if you are happy to do that, it's up to yourself what your budget is on it, because it can be very easy to get carried away. Parts $50, but you can buy a new one for $40.
Yeah.
But we try to save whatever we can from going to landfill, basically. There may even be the possibility of, if we have another similar part ourselves that's already been used, it's not what we recommend, but we can do it, we can test it, and we can replace it, and that way it keeps the cost down. You don't have to buy new parts. If we can do that, we'll do that. If you were to take this to a store, absolutely they're going to put your parts on. But because we try to save whatever we can, as long as we test it and we know it's safe, if we have one, we can take it apart. It's one of the benefits of, quite often with appliances, they're really not worth saving. For example, if the element had gone, which is a common problem, and it's difficult to source, it's pretty much scrap. But there's plenty of other components that if we can save them on another appliance, that's what we'll do. And again, the objective is, one, to save from landfill, and two, is just to keep the cost down for the local community, prevent people having to go and spend $100 on a new job. So if you're happy with that, we can work out later on, give you the part number. We can arrange for you just to make another booking, hop into the Bower, and we'll swap that out, and there shouldn't be any charge to that at all.
Sounds good.
Unless I make it something else in the meantime, just to make a bit extra money out of it. But no, that's it. So again, it's quite a common problem. We won't put this back together again. We'll just tag it with your details, put it on the shelf, and then you can contact us if and when you choose to get the part. Okay, happy with that?
Very happy with it. Thanks.
Cool. Okay.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. I mean, this is what happens with the most popular repairs that we request that we get at the Bower are for electronic repairs, and like today was like back to back booked out as well. But in a lot of the time, you know, it is a more complex problem, and it takes a bit more time, and we need parts.
Often, if we can do it within half an hour, something that's quite straightforward. Yeah. Other times, once you start pulling things apart, the half-hour window closes, and then it becomes a case of actually giving you a quote for it.
Yes, exactly.
And then the customer can make their decision themselves whether they want to repair it or not. Yeah. And if they don't, we'll take the part, save what we can.
Yeah.
And
that the main goal about why we are doing this and why we're so committed to it is because if we can repair things, it helps us to keep things out of landfill. And we're really grateful when people make the effort to want to try and repair, and that's what we encourage at the Bower. Actually, we're going to take a short break now and come back in a few minutes. Cam will be back, but he's going to change hats and show us a bit of furniture repair hacks. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lee.
Hi, my name's Sam. I run the custom fucking design service here at Sunglass Fix. what we do, we're a sunglass lens replacement company. So if you've scratched or damaged your sunglass lenses, you can go to our website, type in the model number and name, browse our lens options, and we'll send you the lenses to your house for you to install yourself. It's pretty easy to do. You just pop out the old ones, pop in the new 90% of the time. It's pretty easy. If you do need extra hand, we've got lots of installation videos on our website to help as well. So if we don't have that particular model on our website, you can send them in for our custom design service. So one of the team will custom design lenses for that particular model. And we'll also replace any damaged parts on the frame. So if the nose pads aren't looking too good, we'll replace the nose pads. We'll also replace the hinge screws, tying up the frames and clean them up. We do have these parts available on our website for you to do at home as well. But this is just part of the service we do here. We'll send them back to the customer brand new and save them to go into landfill.
Luck. Perfect.
That we find at furniture section. This is super common. I would say 80% of the basic furniture repairs that we do are chairs. And most people will probably be familiar with this home where basically the frame will come loose, works itself loose. Now, there's a number of different ways to repair this, but I'm just going to give you a quick example on one of the joints today, just to simplify it. And again, just to give an example of a typical basic repair that will come in to the bower. So, first of all, we need to split the joint. We'll work on this joint here. Now, this chair has already had some repair work. You can tell just by the types of screws, and this is different timbers. So it's been repaired in the past, obviously with a similar problem. One of the things that takes a bit more time for us is when we have to repair a previous repair. And one of the reasons for that is when there's glue in the joints, we have to ensure all the glue is taken out, all the old glue is removed from the joint before we can put new glue in, or obviously it's just not going to, it just won't take properly. So we'll dismantle this joint here. I think on this chair all of them need done, but we'll do this one for now. And this section is just for structural integrity, just to tie everything in. So we don't know what we're going to find in this joint. Hopefully there's not too much old glue in there. So we want to now split this joint. Now, there are 2 or 3 ways of doing this. Hopefully we can just tap it out with a mallet without taking the side apart for now. Just to get access to the dowels. Hopefully there's dowels in here holding it together. So we'll just, yep. And so you can see, again, obviously, if you're doing this sort of work at home, whatever you're going to hit your timber with, you make sure it's softer than the timber you're striking. You don't want to be getting dings in your timber, obviously. So we can see here that previously, there's actually a broken dowel already, so this has had a previous repair, and there's the remnants of old glue as well. So the dowels that are in here are still intact. So I'm not going to pull these old dowels out. They're in quite firm. All I'm going to do, clean this joint out, clean inside the holes, remove the glue, and then just reapply more glue, and hopefully clamp it up again. So for this, I'm just using. We want quite a rough sandpaper. This is 40 grit. The reason we want this rough is we want the surface of the timber to be rough, so that it can absorb the PVA glue, which is what we're going to actually apply. So this it's very inexpensive. It's water-based as well, and it also dries clear. So when we come to clamp this back together, any spillage you get with it, it might run down the chair, you don't have to concern yourself about that. A damp rag just wipes it off. And even if you did miss a part, when it dries, as I say, it's clear, so you won't see it anyway. So I'm just going to rough this joint up a bit. We would normally take a bit more time on this in the workshop. I would dismantle the whole thing. It makes it easier to work on. But just for the purposes of understanding how we would do a repair, we'll just work on this one. So take the worst of it off. Now, normally I would probably use a chisel to scrape this and get a clean piece of timber. As I say, but just as a quick repair, a quick basic idea of how to do it. So we've actually got a clean surface on the timber here now. We need it on the side. So this could be quite time consuming. I'm not going to spend too much time on this at this stage, because the rest of this chair is going to be dismantled again at some stage in the next week or two. So now what we're looking at is just applying this glue into the joints. Now we just want a small paintbrush that lets us get in to any nooks and crannies here. Now I'll be careful not to spill white glue on a black cloth, but now because this is water-based, you can thin it down, and that makes it easier to apply. This is quite thick, but we don't care about putting too much glue on. You can't put too much on, because when we clamp it together, it's going to squeeze out the cracks and we'll wipe it off. So we don't care, we can just lash this glue on everywhere. So I'm going to try and get some inside the dowel holes. Ideally, I would have cleaned these dowel holes out with another tool, so that we're just working straight on the timber and there's no remnants of glue already in there. But again, just for the purposes of the demonstration, We'll apply the glue to the surfaces and the dowels. I should have actually just cleaned the inside edge here as well on the chair. I don't know if they can get that with the camera. So, rough this edge up. This just lets the this PVA glue, it actually absorbs into the wood. It's like it soaks in a little bit. So you'll find in the joint, much like a weld, when it actually bonds together under pressure, it's actually stronger than the timber around it. It's kind of reinforced, but it needs to absorb into the timber. So you've got a kind of depth where it's held together, where the joint should be stronger. So we'll clean this edge up. It's not perfect. We would definitely spend a bit more time on this in the workshop. And in this case, we'd probably dismantle the whole chair. We'd make it easier to work. So we'll finish applying the glue here. Again, we can lash that on. We don't care about where it goes. So that should be fine. So now we just need to relocate the dowels back in. Make sure never use your hands, just as a health and safety. Never use your hands as a hammer. It's very tempting for me to just give this a little nudge in here, because it's not going to take a lot of pressure. But it's a sure way to injure your hands and end up like this the rest of your day. So never ever use your hands to bash something. You might think it's going to be okay, but you can actually really hurt yourself. So I'm going to tap this back in. There it is, dropped onto the dowel holes. I'll tap the whole thing back in together. Now, what we are looking for, I'll do it, turn it this way. We want to make sure that this is flush all the way down so there's no gap, so we know that it's in here square. So what we're going to do is, I'll just draw this in with a clamp. Now, there are various ways of doing this at home where you don't really need any special tools, things like clamps. Clamps can be expensive. There's a number of small hacks that we may well do another video at some stage on the website at the Bauer. So an example for this would be, we need to draw these two together as tightly as we can to force all the glue out of the cracks. So there's a number of ways, but one, for example, is if you have a ball of twine. You can wrap your twine round, tie it off into a loop, and use anything. Teaspoon, a fork, a knife. If you put it between the twine and use it as it will basically pull the two pieces together as you twist it. And once you've got the tension on it, you can pull the fork aside and it will stop it on spinning again. It'll be like a rubber band if you twist a rubber band up. You want to twist it up, it gives you more tension, but you need to lock it in place so that it doesn't unwind again, obviously. So what you could do with that is you wind it up, and let's just say that you wind it up with the twine, it draws this in together, and you just pull this out and it won't unwind because it wants to spin, and it will lock on this. So it will keep the tension on. With this type of glue, ideally you want it to leave it 24 hours. 12 hours, you want to go 24 to be safe. Well, leaving the clamps obviously in place. Now, one of the things I didn't mention at the start of this is just prepping your area, because we can do all this, we'll put the clamps on, and then you may well find that you haven't decided where it's going to sit, because you don't want to disturb it. So ideally you have an area that it's not going to be in the way, you're not going to trip over it for, I'd say, 24 hours. You'd be surprised how many times, again, that we can do a job and it's quite precarious because we make 7 or 8 different clamps on, and then realise we don't have enough space to sit it where it won't be disturbed. Because if someone obviously goes by, accidentally kicks it, clamps come off, the glue sets in place, and you have to start again from scratch. So that's just some sort of prep you want to look at before you start the job. I maybe should have led with that. Anyway, in the meantime, same idea with clamps as I mentioned with mallets, hammers, whatever you're going to hit the wood with or clamp against, you want to make sure the surface of your clamps is softer than the timber itself. Obviously, you don't want it dent the timber, so you can use anything. You can rolled up cardboard, anything, an old rag, because there is going to be a bit of pressure on this. Another small tip is, quite often you'll have a chair that has this one's square, so it's quite simple. But if you have a radius, like on the back of this hammer, so you have a round edge, if you want to clamp on a round edge, it can be quite awkward to hold in place. So a hack for that is an old wine cork from a bottle. So that cork itself, because it's soft, you can just cut that with a box cutter and apply it over the radius. So when the clamp itself clamps onto it, it will actually compress around the radius and give you a much more secure hold. Because as I say, it can be very precarious just when you're clamping things in place. So old corks, they're always handy to keep. If you're going to do this type of work, keep 2 or 3 on the side, cut them so you have a flat surface, and then you can just, between the clamp and the workpiece, and it will mould into the shape itself without damaging the timber, and it'll actually make the clamping a bit more secure as well. Stop it slipping off. We're lucky with this one, we have flat edges. I now already have plastic covers on these, so I'm just going to now draw this up until the glue squeezes out the joints. Now the good thing as well about this glue is, because it takes so long to go off, to set, there's no rush. You don't have to like panicking that it's going to start sticking before you can clamp it. You've got all the time you need. It doesn't matter where the glue goes. So I'm going to clamp this, and hopefully we can get the glue squeezing out the joints. Now that's about as tight as I'm going to get with this type of clamp. I just want to check that we're square. Now, this is square. It could come in further. I would, if I had more time, I was in the workshop, I'd have cleaned this joint, spent a bit more time cleaning the joint up, because we really want this to draw in so that there's no gap at all. We're getting a slight gap here. The reason for that is there's still some excess glue from the previous time it was repaired. Again, that's kind of where a lot of the time is spent, is just cleaning up the joints. That's what's, again, it's like prep work. You clean the joint, so you're back to the timber, rough the timber up so that the glue can get a grip and soak into it. And then we would be clamping this up. Now, normally this gap would completely disappear. I can't get the torque on this particular clamp that I have, so we're not getting as much glue squeezing out as you normally would. But it is coming out a little bit. So, once you've done that, this clamp is in place. We don't want to move this. I'm going to just wipe off any of the excess glue that may have been there. Now, this wasn't a great example because it didn't butt up completely. But normally you'd have the glue squeeze out and run down your chair, and not a problem. Damp cloth, wipes it off, cleans up the joint. And this will, we'll put this aside, leave for 24 hours, and then it's going off. It's going to be solid. But this will dry clear. If there's any remnants of glue on it, a bit of light sandpaper or steel wool, and that just would clean the joint up. But that's very basic joint, and we just did one for now. Had more time, we can get a bit fancier.
I'll just get outside the can.
No worries.
Well, look, thank you so much for taking us through the steps on that. And really, the incredible thing is that it's the older chairs that people might have, or that you might pick up in a bric-a-brac shop or
we see so many beautiful chairs that people would like to save.
Yes, and you can.
Yeah. I mean, you can go to professional furniture stores. It's going to cost you an arm and a heck.
Yeah, right.
But these types of repairs, anyone can do.
Yeah.
And you can do it at home. You don't need special tools and clamps. There are various ways of doing it.
Oh, yes.
But we are more than happy for people to come to us. And we are happy to teach people as well. You can stand there and watch what we do.
Yeah. We also have workshops that can teach you how to do it yourself at home, or you can come in, bring your own item that you want to fix along to one of our workshops. They run for about 3 hours on a weekend. Just go to our website, bower.org.au, go to the workshops page and click on whichever workshop you feel like you want to do that's on offer. Lots more workshops are coming on board, but at the moment we've got furniture repair and restoration, we've got upholstery, home DIY, and a woodworking workshop, which is actually a long one. It's about 6 hours, how to make a box.
Yep, but the thing like the upholstery classes as well, they work in well with chairs, because quite often we'll do repair. People also want to basically do the upholstery as well. So, well, there's another class you can attend to. So yeah, it kind of covers the whole gambit for people.
Yeah. So that's what we're all about, empowering all of us to be able to keep all our, favourite possessions for longer and save money at the same time, which is what we're all interested in these days.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much, Cam.
You're more than
trooper being here with the electrical repairs and furniture repairs, which is actually what Cam does for us, is switches between the furniture repair shop and the electrical repair shop. And want to again invite you to come on down to 107 Redfern Street, where the festival is in full swing. We've got markets happening. There's a real buzz out there with barbecue going, and later this afternoon we've got demonstrations of all different types of repairs going on around the place, including musical instrument repairs this afternoon, and we'll be showing the Academy Award-winning short doco, The Last Repair Shop, which is all about an amazing musical repair shop in California that repairs musical instruments for children. So that's definitely something worth coming for this afternoon. Tomorrow we've got Fast Fashion Day, where we're fighting fast fashion, and you can still book to come along to hear Craig Rucastle facilitate a discussion with some amazing panellists who are experts trying to tackle the fast fashion problem in Australia. And you can come in and learn about invisible mending and recycle or upcycle your T-shirt. Lots of things happening with textiles here tomorrow. But for now, we're going to wind up, let you have a break, and we'll be back from 2 till 4 p.m, exactly the same way as this, live streaming our version of Antiques Roadshow called Vintage Valuations with Raphael Kelly and Thomas Valuers, and that is going to be a really great session to watch if you can't make it down to 107 Redfern Street. Cheers.
Fantastic.
Thank you.